All right, perfect. Thank you for that confirmation. We'll go ahead and get started. I have 2:31 right now. My name is Jason Runyon. I'm a lead forecaster with the National Weather Service Austin San Antonio Forecast Office. Just a reminder, this briefing is being recorded, and a copy of the slides along with the recording will be emailed out shortly after we're done with this to everybody that's on our partners list. If you're not on our partners list, the briefing will also be posted under the news headlines section at our weather.gov/San Antonio webpage. So welcome. This is the 2:30 p.m. Sunday, April 7th weather support briefing for the total eclipse. Some important updates if you were on the call yesterday or this morning. We've coordinated with our Storm Prediction Center and made some adjustments to the severe weather outlook for Monday. We'll get into those details here in a second. We've also made some slight refinements to the temperature and chance of rain forecast for Monday. Overall, though, things remain medium to high confidence in both the rain chances and cloud cover forecast for Monday from previous forecasts. So just a reminder of our scheduled briefings. We'll have one more eclipse briefing at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And that will be it with we'll be done with our scheduled briefings at that time. So the main weather points we'll be discussing in this call. The weak cold front that's moved through the region this morning is stalling across the coastal plains. It will come back north into the region late tonight and north of the region during the day on Monday. We do have a medium to high confidence level in our cloud forecast for tomorrow, as well as our rain chances. Generally speaking, it's going to be mostly cloudy across the region. Some isolated weak morning showers are possible, along with some patchy drizzle. And then some scattered afternoon showers are possible across eastern areas, and an isolated storm potential after the eclipse ends for portions of the area, with the potential for a severe storm or two. And we'll get into the specifics here on that in a second. And then we're still watching the Tuesday and Tuesday night time frame. We're going to be refining that forecast more tomorrow, but there is a potential for some storms, which could cause issues with egress. So here's the current front. This was as of 10 a.m. this morning. That front had moved through the I-35 corridor. As I mentioned, it is stalling across the coastal plains. We've seen the drier air move into the region. Behind that front, the low clouds have scattered out. It's very comfortable out there right now with relative humidity about 15 to 30%, but these conditions that you see out there right now are going to be very short-lived. As I mentioned, that front will work back north tomorrow and provide a totally different atmosphere in our lower levels. Here's the current satellite as of about an hour ago. Those low clouds had shifted down into deep South Texas and out into the Gulf of Mexico. But if you look closely, there's a plume of high-level moisture, high-level clouds that extends all across Texas, back southwest into Mexico and the Pacific Ocean. And those clouds will continue to stream through Texas tonight and through the day on Monday. So the forecast for Monday, still expecting that front to lift back north as a warm front late tonight and through the morning hours. We should see low cloud cover return to the region by late tonight through the overnight hours and tomorrow morning. It should be pretty much mostly cloudy to overcast across the region tomorrow morning, with again some patchy drizzle possible, maybe some very isolated weak showers. As far as the low clouds go, we could see some scattering of the low clouds across portions of the region by eclipse time frame. And I'll get into that here in a second, but the high clouds will continue to stream across the entire region tomorrow. As far as our rain chances, just some very slight adjustments made to them since this morning's briefing. Generally about a 10 to 30% chance of precipitation at some point during the day tomorrow across the central and western hill country, and about 40 to anywhere from 40 to 50% eastern hill country and I-35 corridor, and then 60 to 70% east of the I-35 corridor. Again, the coverage in the morning should be rather isolated and weak in nature, just some weak light showers, patchy drizzle through the morning hours. And we could see some scattered showers start developing through the eastern hill country and I-35 corridor coastal plains through the afternoon, and then perhaps some isolated thunderstorms after the eclipse ends tomorrow afternoon. Overall, the rainfall amounts appear to be low at this time, a few hundredths to a couple tenths of an inch. for those locations that do receive any rainfall. However, if there is some isolated storms that do form, a couple locations could get a little bit more, up to ½ inch to 1 inch of rainfall if any stronger storms were to develop. Just an example, just kind of where to expect coverage of precipitation tomorrow, and don't get caught up in the exact details of this. This is just one computer model, but generally speaking, in the morning hours, kind of stray to isolated weak showers anywhere across south central Texas. As we get into the early afternoon, the peak of the eclipse around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, isolated kind of coverage of showers, maybe some scattered coverage out towards the coastal plains, but still rather weak in nature. And then as we get beyond the kind of mid to late afternoon, so say after 3 p.m., we start to see a little bit more intense shower activity develop, and perhaps a storm or two, anywhere from the central and eastern hill country back through the I-35 corridor and coastal plains. Now, the big update in this briefing here was to the severe weather outlook for tomorrow that you see there on the left. That's from the Storm Prediction Center. We did coordinate with them today, and based on the new model runs that have come in this morning, that kind of confirmed what we were seeing last night. Overall, the severe level of risk has decreased as far as the level 2 risk for most of the area. We've trimmed that back north towards central Texas, although there is still technically a sliver of Llano, Burnett, and Williamson County that are in the level 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms tomorrow. And then most of the rest of the regions in the level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. But I'll get into that here in a minute. That level 1 out of 5 isn't necessarily for the daytime hours tomorrow. If we were to see anything tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, as far as severe storms, will be primarily in that level 2 out of 5 risk area. And the main threats would be very large hail, as well as cloud to ground lightning. And then the secondary threat for an isolated tornado, again, mainly in that level 2 risk area. Now, as far as timing, this is where I get into the level 1 out of 5 risk area. So the 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. time frame tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, we'll be watching for isolated severe storm potential across the northeast hill country and near and northeast of the Austin metro area. Then after sunset, as we get into the late evening and the first part of the overnight hours, there might be just kind of a lull in activity. And then some of our models are hinting at some redevelopment of some storms anywhere across south central Texas, but isolated in nature sometime during the pre-dawn hours Tuesday morning. So there's a secondary risk that we could see some isolated severe storms sometime 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Tuesday anywhere across south central Texas. And the main risk with those storms in the pre-dawn hours would be hail and then cloud to ground lightning. As far as our temperature forecast for Monday, not much has changed here. Still low temperatures forecast mid 50s to mid 60s, high temperatures upper 70s to mid 80s. Again, there's could be off a few degrees depending on how overcast the clouds get. And then just a note still during the eclipse time period, the totality around 1 to 2 o'clock, there could be a brief temperature drop anywhere from about 3 to 6 degrees, especially for those locations right in the path of totality. The cloud cover forecast, this has been updated with this morning's model runs. So this is the low level clouds that you're looking at, those low stratus morning clouds that you see. So at 10 a.m., we're highly confident that most of the region should see broken to overcast low morning stratus in place. We're pretty confident in that. What may happen into the early afternoon hours is that we could see some of the low level clouds start to scatter out along the Rio Grande and possibly over the northern hill country, say northern Gillespie, northern Kerr, parts of Edwards County, and then some just patchy breaks elsewhere, but overall kind of mostly cloudy. As far as the high clouds, everything you see here in red is high clouds. High clouds will be streaming across the entire region tomorrow. And in fact, they could actually thicken up through the afternoon. So there's a high confidence that there will be high clouds streaming through the entire region on Monday. Some spots could see some slightly translucent nature to the high clouds. And if there were breaks to occur in the low clouds, there could be some brief opportunities to see some filtered views of the eclipse. But overall tomorrow, Our official forecast during the eclipse time is calling for mostly cloudy skies across the entire region. This hasn't really changed too much generally over the last several days. And again, we've shown these for several days now, just the examples of what it could look like. On the left there, if you were to see breaks in the low-level clouds, but the high-level clouds were still up there, and they were translucent enough, something like that would occur, some filtered eclipse viewability. The high-level clouds remain thick enough, or the low-level clouds just don't break up at all, then it will be more like the images that you see there in the middle and the right. Not much here to update on the Tuesday forecast. We still have potential for some storms on sometime Tuesday or Tuesday night or Tuesday night, but the confidence in the locations and timing of all this is pretty low at the moment. We hope to kind of refine this forecast starting tonight and into tomorrow as our high resolution models start to capture the Tuesday timeframe. And again, these were the severe weather outlooks and the excessive rainfall outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Prediction Center. The severe weather outlook for Tuesday on the left and the excessive rainfall outlook on the right. Level 1 to 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms. Sometime Tuesday and or Tuesday night. Again, low confidence on exact timing and location of all this. We'll refine all that tomorrow. But the main risks Tuesday and Tuesday night would be large hail, lightning, and then potentially some very isolated pockets of heavy rainfall. Again, our resources that are available to you or 7-day forecasts that go out hourly. You can look up hourly temperature, wind speed, wind direction, cloud cover. That's linked here and in that QR code that will be made available in our slide deck that we email out and post on our webpage. And we do have some pre-canned cities set up for these hourly point forecasts. Here are the western areas, western cities in our forecast area, the hill country cities in our forecast area, and the I-35 corridor cities in our forecast area. And finally, our satellite and radar data resources. Again, all these QR codes will be provided in the slides that we email out and post to our website. So to summarize everything here, mostly cloudy conditions are expected Monday. We will see a return of that low-level cloud cover late tonight and Monday morning. Overall, during the day tomorrow, we're forecasting about a 10 to 30% chance of rainfall west of I-30 in the western areas, 40 to 60% chance of rainfall eastern hill country and along the east of I-35. Should start off kind of isolated in coverage through the morning hours, then scattered in nature in the afternoon. And then that potential for an isolated risk for severe storms sometime after the eclipse, sometime kind of 3 to 9 p.m., 3 to 8 p.m. Tomorrow. Mainly the severe risk is kind of eastern hill country and then up towards the Austin and northeast of the Austin metro area. Again, we'll refine that Tuesday and Tuesday night forecast in the coming day here. But there is a potential that there could be some egress issues with severe storms in the region sometime Tuesday or Tuesday night. Overall, our confidence levels for the cloud cover and precip chances during the eclipse are medium to high. We're pretty confident now in the cloud cover and the rainfall chances. As far as the severe storm chances, tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, a low confidence level. And the severe storm chances Tuesday and Tuesday night, a low to medium confidence level. Our next and final briefing will be provided at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, April 8th. And I'll pause here for any questions that anybody may have for me. If you do have any questions, you can submit those questions using the question box within GoToWebinar. So I'll pause here for about 30 to 60 seconds for you to type any questions you may have. All right, seeing no questions, we'll go ahead and end it here. Thanks for your attendance this afternoon, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. Have a good day.